Hi, I'm Matthew, co-founder and CEO of Obi Veterinary Education, and I'm very excited to share our growing online education platform with you today. At its core, Obi Veterinary Education is simple. We're building an improved veterinary continuing education platform. But our mission goes far beyond that. We're building this to create a better veterinary healthcare system. And with better pet care comes improved animal health outcomes across companion animals, large animal, and agribusiness. We're also empowering veterinarians to succeed at work and prioritize their well being. To understand our platform and the role OB is playing in the lives of veterinarians, let's look at what it's like to be a vet in 2021. It's important to remember that the job is much more than spending each day with kittens, puppies, and horses. The reality is that vets are busier than ever and face increasing demands for the highest quality of care from clients. In addition, barriers to specialist care often mean general practice veterinarians are providing an increased level of care for multiple species. These demands and other contributing factors have led to an observable decline in the well being of veterinarians. Many vets feel overwhelmed, and studies have shown that veterinary professionals experience higher than average rates of mental health related issues. It is in this context that vets complete their annual continuing education to maintain their accreditation, currently only available in inefficient formats. For many, fitting this into their busy schedules is an afterthought. While these are large problems that will take the collaboration across the industry to solve, by empowering veterinarians through education, we can be a force for good in the industry. OBI is the first dedicated veterinary microlearning platform. That means our lessons are never more than 5 minutes and focused on key learning objectives to help improve retention. We've gamified the learning experience to reinforce positive behaviors and provide a continual sense of achievement. We've also taken great care in designing a platform that is easy to use, searchable, and loaded with free resources. Our research estimates there are about 2 million veterinarians globally. If we break this down a bit further, there are 127,000 registered veterinarians in Canada and the US. This is where we are focusing our efforts right now, as continuing education in both of these markets is accredited by the American Association of Veterinary State Boards. The market also skews younger, as nearly 40% of North American vets are technology natives and need responsive platforms that meet their expectations. On average, veterinarians spend over $1,000 a year on continuing education, indicating that over $130 million are spent each year on veterinary continuing education in Canada and the US alone. We are currently in the initial steps of our growth strategy as we focus on growing our user base, providing proof of concept for microlearning, and finding product market fit. Our revenue streams include course and subscription sales, as well as clinical memberships and advertising. We have forecasted this initial growth period to take between 18 and 24 months as we grow to host 100 hours of content. Our growth targets include reaching 2,500 total users and 1,000 paid subscribers. Through subscriptions and advertising, we expect to reach $300,000 in annual recurring revenue. We launched OBI in January 2021 with free and paid radiology resources. By the end of the first quarter, we had acquired our first 75 users and have agreements in place to produce dentistry, surgery, and cardiology courses available exclusively on OBI. We are seeing strong weekly user growth and converted sales from our free user base. This suggests that there is a market for microlearning, and as we're able to add content and reach new vets, our revenue will continue to grow in correlation. We are currently focused on growing our course library, digital marketing, and developing an iOS and Android mobile app. In addition to funding today, we are also looking to meet and work with veterinary specialists interested in joining OBI. We partner with specialists to ensure they retain the rights to their intellectual property and are paid in perpetuity. Veterinarians looking to improve the way they complete their CE, corporate partnerships with clinics and advertisers, as well as content creators for our social media accounts, blog, and newsletter. Our team consists of Dr. Ryan Appleby, a veterinary radiologist and professor at Ontario Veterinary College. Ryan oversees the direction of our educational content and leverages his connections in the industry. As CEO, I have led the development of our brand, platform, marketing, and business operations. And Bowie, our Chief Marketing Officer, who reminds us every day why pet healthcare is so important. OBI is differentiated in the market by leveraging microlearning, gamification, and prioritizing the accessibility of information. By improving the way veterinarians complete their continuing education, we are creating a better veterinary healthcare, improving animal health, and prioritizing veterinary well-being. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you for your presentation. It's great to see how you're thinking about the continuous education space, um, and really like what you're doing about with Obi Vet. And as you think about just the user adoption here and why somebody would use ObiVet versus LinkedIn Learning or some of the other more commercially established platforms, can you walk us through why the customer would find this appealing?
Absolutely. Our platform is designed specifically for veterinarians, and vets can access content that isn't available on those more commercially available ones, such as LinkedIn Learning or Coursera. The adoption that we are looking to achieve is actually converting some of those users away from established veterinary CE platforms by delivering the content in a different way through microlearning, through gamification, and ensuring that there's a easy accessibility to the information.
Perfect, thank you.
Hi, Matthew. When I heard your pitch, I immediately thought of things like Duolingo and Noom, those kind of micro-learning environments. Question I have is, how do you intend to stay ahead of the content demand? What's your strategy for scaling content as you ramp up your customer acquisition?
Yeah, I love that you mentioned Duolingo, as that really is the gold standard of micro-learning and gamification, and it's something that we've really looked to follow. In terms of the content, we are experiencing some scale-up challenges that are consistent with how we're viewing our user issue that we're trying to solve. Vets are very busy. They get home from a long day of work. They're not looking to record lectures and post them online. And so we are working directly with these providers to give them the materials they need to succeed. And that includes the technology infrastructure to actually record their lectures and have them posted on Obi, but also changing the way that they are compensated for their work. Typically, right now, specialists are compensated per hour. The lecture or webinar goes up online and just lives online. For us, we make sure that the specialists retain the IP to their lecture, and then they are paid based on the course sales or certificate sales in perpetuity. So they do really become a partner for us, and we hope that this will allow us to differentiate ourselves among specialists who actually want to join the OB community.
It's excellent insight. Thanks.
So thanks, Matthew. I really like your solution, and it seems you have a clear strategy. I also quickly looked up the website. That looks really professional. And you mentioned you already have 75 something subscribers. And I'm really curious, what is the feedback from those first subscribers, and how often do they come back to use your platform?
It's a great question. Thank you. We actually just sent out our first user experience survey. We're now nearing 100 users, and we thought this would be a good time to start to get some preliminary data. We are seeing that users start very strong with our platform on our free course. Many complete the free course, and where we need to start converting is to the paid courses. Of subscribers that have paid for their courses and their certificates, we are seeing strong conversion. Last month, one of our users completed both certificates that are available on Obi, and completed every lesson that we have. So we feel strong that the demand is there, and now we just need to keep up with the content, which I think goes back to the earlier question about how are we securing enough content to keep up with demand.
Right, excellent, thank you.
Hey Matthew, love your answer to your content question, and love the growth strategy you have outlined. On the point about your users, you mentioned conversion, and you want to go down this business model of freemium. Can you tell us more about how the conversion from free users to paying users will take place, and the trigger events associated with that, and what conversion you're expecting now and also in the future?
Absolutely. The freemium model is important to our business model, and the reason is we want to provide as many free resources as possible to veterinarians. because this is life-saving information that we want accessible at their fingertips at any time. There is a subset of that information, of those certificates on our site that are RACE approved, and that is we've paid to have it approved, which then puts it behind a paywall. In terms of our conversion rates, our phase 1 goals are to have 2,500 users and convert 1,000 to those. 1,000 of those to full subscription users. This is an estimation based on our current conversion rates. We believe that it will scale a little bit higher as we're able to add more content that veterinarians want. Right now, we only have radiology on the platform. So if we think about the slice of the market that we're actually reaching, it's only North American vets looking for RACE-approved continuing education, willing to try microlearning, and interested in radiology. So it's actually quite narrow. As we get more specialties on board and we add more content, we think we can grow that market, charge more for our subscription, and convert more users.
Great. Those are very good points. Seems like you've thought this out, and yeah, very well answered.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.